Hello and welcome once again to another edition of Gamezillong Countdown. Now, a good while back, Tank put up a list of his top 10 kaiju that weren't Godzilla. And now it's my turn to throw my hat into the ring. But with a bit of a concession. This list is not only not going to include Godzilla, it's not going to include really any kaiju that Godzilla has been involved with. So these are all kaiju that have had their own thing. So with that out of the way, let's get into my ProtoMet's top 10 kaiju that aren't Godzilla related.
Number 10. This entry is admittedly a bit of a cheat, since he has been in a Godzilla movie. But it'd be criminal to not mention King Kong, and he has been in more solo films. Still, for as classic of a giant monster as King Kong is, his battle with Godzilla is why he's so low on this list.
Number 9.
In the world of Kaiju, Gamora is part of the Holy Trinity along with Godzilla and King Kong. While not all of Gamora's films are great, he has been the centerpiece of some really good films. Feeding on fire and flammables, and with the ability to fly through the sky, Gamora is actually pretty crazy of a concept once you think about it. He deserves all the attention he can get, though. But since he was also on Tank's list, I'm putting him pretty low to give the spotlight to some other kaiju.
Number 8.
This entry is on the list mostly for nostalgic reasons, but I don't care. A blatant Godzilla ripoff, Reptar has never had his own complete work of fiction, always being part of the lives of some babies and their families. Still, Reptar is pretty popular in the fictional world of Rugrats, having toys, movies, candy bars, cereal, and even an Ice Capade-style show. The big guy's clearly doing something right.
Number 7.
While the Blob nowadays is shorthand for cliché B-movie, the original film is a pretty tense and enjoyable film. A slow, hungry mass from space, maybe, that absorbs people and gradually grows bigger. While its origin differs between films, this creeping mass is the epitome of a formless terror. It's not to be taken lightly.
Number 6.
Venus flytraps on their own look pretty dangerous, but they're pretty harmless. But imagine if they actually were dangerous. Audrey 2 is a voracious plant from outer space, and she's hungry for human flesh, and like the Blob, she grows larger the more she eats. She's also very manipulative, coercing her caretaker into providing her the flesh she craves. And she's smart, plotting to conquer the world using her offspring, and actually succeeding.
Number 5.
The titular monsters of Attack on Titan are scary. You can't tell me that seeing a giant, naked, man-eating humanoid wouldn't terrify you. The Titans come in various sizes, and all of them are driven to consume humans, but not as a survival instinct. They eat people purely for the sake of doing so, and they tend to come in large numbers. If you see one Titan, others are sure to be nearby.
Number 4.
An ancient behemoth resurrected in the modern day through cloning, Nemesis is a goddess of vengeance. With the memories of her murdered human half, Nemesis grew from human-sized into a city-destroying giant and became more and more dangerous with each metamorphosis. There's a lot more I could say about Nemesis and her story, but that would spoil the books, and I don't have very many images that I can use, so go read the books.
Number 3.
While Gamora did get the number 1 slot on my Ultra Kaiju list, he wasn't actually my personal favorite. Instead, I much prefer the space dinosaur Zeton. I talked quite a bit about Zeton on that list, so go check that video out for more info.
Number 2.
all of the angels in Neon Genesis Evangelion are a threat to humanity just by existing. Big or small, they're all dangerous. But for me, Zero was a turning point for this series, driving home just how dangerous the angels were, and managing to come dangerously close to destroying Nerve, and only being defeated by a boy deciding to stop being a little...
Number 1.
Howard Philip Lovecraft, the American horror writer responsible for basically creating kaiju literature. When people think of the monstrosities used by Lovecraft in his stories, their minds tend to shift to the winged tentacle-faced Cthulhu. But even in Lovecraft's tales, Cthulhu is little more than a priest for even greater monstrosities, including his own father, Yog-Sothoth. Yog-Sothoth is revered more often in Lovecraft tales, and Cthulhu isn't even his only offspring. While Yog-Sothoth is still less powerful than his grandfather Azathoth, I feel that the sheer amount of worship made to Yog-Sothoth in Lovecraft stories sets the guy apart as the #1 kaiju.
And those are my top favorite kaiju. Do you guys agree? Disagree? Have thoughts of which kaiju you prefer as your favorites? Leave comments down in the description. Until next time, I'm ProtoMet, and until next time, see ya!